Hey guys, it's Russ Mayo. Today we're going to be working in After Effects and we're going to be working with something that looks like this, a little push pin. It's called the Puppet Pin Tool. Say that 25 times fast. Say anything 25 times fast and it's hard. But we've got his name here, all this. I'm not going to go through that detail. What you're going to get is a gray background, a gray floor, a shadow, a light, and some movement. We're not going to put this fly in there, but this is the type of stuff you can do with the Puppet Pin Tool. So there's Sean with his shoulder shrug. I love that. This is Zach and a little alien running across. It's called So Much for Earth. It's an animation that's going to happen here in the future. But what I like about this is right here, after he shoots his bug, you've got some movement. It feels pretty natural. Then all of a sudden a shoulder shrug, and you can see the other parts of his body moving with it. And that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to go into After Effects, create a new composition. Make sure that it's HD, 24 frames, or whatever you really want. We're going to bring in the Photoshop file of Sean and make it a composition. Don't make it footage. Choose composition, and that's going to bring him down to where you can have full control over him. Now, he's a little bit too big, so I'm going to go to this feature under Transform, and we're going to change his size. We're just going to drop him down to where you can see everything of him. So he's in there. I want to make him 3D as well. So I'm going to click on this little box down below it. Clicking on that makes it so he's 3D, which means that you can come in, and if you select him, you should be able to go back and forth, and everything should look like it's 3D. Now, you're not going to be able to tell that without adding a new solid. I'm going to make that gray. This can be any background. Make it 3D. And we're going to push it back just a little bit, go to the Z-axis. And now I'm going to duplicate that, and I'm going to press W and go to the X-axis, and you're going to take it to 90 degrees and drop it down so you've got the ability to make it look like Zach is actually standing on something. Now, to be able to tell if that's going to happen, I'm going to extend this, make it a lot bigger. And you're going to see him start going through. You want it to go right up to his toes. Then this background should be pretty big as well. So now it looks like it's just gray. We can change all that just by going up to Layer, New, Light. And I'm going to choose Point, choose a blue light. And the radius, I really like to make it just a big radius. I'm going to even change that more. I'm going to say 3000. And so now you've got some light going on and some fall off. But what we're going to do now is go to Sean, press AA. It gives you some lighting options, and I'm going to change it from Cast Shadows Off to On, and now you've got this big shadow there. And I'm going to change the light. I'm going to change the distance. I'm going to move it a little bit closer so you can see more of the shadow. You can move this wherever you want it. Sometimes it's fun to have them offset quite a bit. Now we're getting into the point that really matters. We're going to select Sean. We're going to go up to the Puppet Pin tool, and I'm going to go to all his rotating limbs, his joints. So we're going to go to his shoulder, his elbow, wrist, shoulder, elbow, wrist, wrist. Okay, we're going to go right under his chin just so it connects his neck to his head. And then down here where his backbone is just below his ribs, we're going to set some points where his legs are, his knees, and his ankles. Now, I drew this really strange, mainly because when I drew it originally, his pants, his legs were too close to each other, and when we did this type of stuff, it would pull the other piece of the leg. So what you can see right there is what the Puppet Pin tool is doing is it's moving everything, but it's keeping things pinned down, kind of like what gravity does. Now right here, I don't like how there's a little bit of spill. You can change that by going into the effects properties under your puppet and then mesh. You go to your triangles, it's set at 350 kind of as default. I like to have it about 800. And what that's going to do is if you go to your mesh, you can see all these triangles. If you go to the 300 like they had it to begin with, not a lot of triangles, and these pieces up here are all kind of jumbled into one. So the more triangles, the higher quality it's going to be. It's going to take a little longer to render, but as you click on this, what's really fun is your shadow is going to move. You can have stuff move out in front. You can extend. You can pull the Incredibles type thing of stretching. but it's really, really fun to be able to have that type of control and that type of movement over your object. Now, I don't like to be able to see the mesh as I'm working. So what I said before is that I really loved that shoulder shrug. Now, in any type of animation program, it takes a while to go in and set your keyframes. What I like about After Effects is that it gives you the option to hold down the Command key and it brings up a stopwatch or a control on a PC. And as you click it, it's going to record you in real time. And that's not a bad thing. Now, I don't know how much shoulder shrugging you can handle from this guy, but I went really slow to begin with, and then it's quite a bit. Now, it is recording in real time, so if you want to go to about 5 or 6 seconds, hold down the Command key and just start going crazy. It's going to record that action. You can record his leg moving. Now, you wouldn't want to move it that fast because it just looks dumb. But for this, just to be able to show you that you can move stuff, you want to make it look as real as possible, but this is just a tutorial, just a dumb tutorial. So you got Zach, well, this is not Zach, this is Sean. You got Sean freaking out, and you've got depth, you've got a floor, you've got a background, and one last thing, if you want to do this, you can do it. Type his name, Sean, and we're going to make that 3D. And we're going to make it cast shadows. And then we're just going to place it where we want it. I think I want it probably quite a bit in front. So it's going to cast a shadow. And there he is. That's not casting too much shadow. There we go. I don't know. You can put it wherever you want. Maybe behind is cooler. The whole frame. Sean's got an ego. All right, so you've got some motion there. Now, I said I wasn't going to go into too much detail, but if you've got all this stuff already set up, you might as well go up to your layer. Hit New, go to a camera. I like to choose a 50mm, and then just reset everything. Once you do that, you can start to make your own keyframes. And I'm going to go to about 6 seconds, and I'm going to use my camera tool. And let's just rotate him. You can see the depth. They're just flat images. I think what I'm going to do is just do a pan. I like that type of stuff. Make it a really simple move. Maybe zoom out so you can see the entire platform. There you go. So as you watch your camera move, he's moving. You can add as much stuff as you want. You can make this as detailed as you want it. Okay, so that's it. Puppet tool in like 6.5 minutes. Thanks.